It's a Godwinson live. News alert. Welcome to Godwinson's Kino Casino, where we obey the 7 rules of the Kino dogma. It's locked this way, so I can't change hands, unfortunately. But tonight, we're considering harrowing images. Not just starfishes, but extensive logs. Logs and starfishes, that's what this one's about. And then we're gonna look at where they all are now. What happened to everyone? What? Do we want to find out what she's actually making, folks? Where do you think this is going, by the way? Where the fuck do you think this one is possibly going? Shall we dip into the future? It's this. I mean, I've seen angels fall from blinding heights. It's episode 4, folks, of the original, you might say. The real McCoy, you might say. This is how it's done. And this is content you're not going to find anywhere else, bizarrely. No one's going to touch this shit. Literally no one. But if it was Ralph, if it was Ethan Ralph, then it'd be wall-to-wall coverage of this shit. So savor the moment, folks, because you, especially you are the chosen few. And don't forget that at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show, yes, there will be call-ins. The sector will speak once more. And I'm ready, aren't you? So, what? Hang on, will that do it? Okay. There's a fox in it now. I mean, right, so. We might have to invest in a phone stand at this point, because it's quite ridiculous to constantly have to do this. But if you're willing, if you're with me, then we'll press ahead anyway. The PS5 controller just ain't cutting it anymore. I don't know. It's just sort of given up the ghost. I don't know. Maybe we just need to invest in a phone case. Alas. So, I need to line this up and that up.
I imagine Bandit's first owner was to astronomer. But one day
So if you don't know, then you should know, folks. How do I satisfyingly break this news? I mean, I'm looking at an image of it right now. Spread. Blown out, quite frankly. How do I, in an SFW way, describe what's before me? I mean, we'll start with this. She's in the bathroom. She's knelt over, bent over. Face just on the floor. There are 2 hands that, if I didn't know better, I'd assume belonged to E.T. the extraterrestrial. I'd assume they were pointing at the sky wanting to phone home. But alas, they're not pointing at the sky wanting to phone home. They're literally on individual cheeks. They are parting these cheeks. And parting's a very strong term. And what we see like, Elaine, come on, you crazy cunt. If you're gonna do the exhibitionist art, if you're gonna do this crazy shit, at least shave, and by all means, wipe. Shave and wipe, the two golden rules. Shave, wipe, and if you PPP, bleach. I mean, I assume we've all done our pre-reading before the show. I assume we've all done our homework before the show. And we've all looked at what I'm referring to here. And we can all sort of come to the conclusion that Elaine doesn't have anything to spread. Flat. Flatter than a witch's tit, folks. Not only that, but if it were to be spreadable, if it were to be like Lawpack Light, spreadable, you'd at least hoped that she'd wiped the packet beforehand. Even a cursory wipe, even a slight wipe, a partial wipe, would have spared us the horror of what's going around currently. So, I'm gonna try again and see if the PS5 controller will work. Okay, so there have been denials from Elaine. There have been copious denials from Elaine that this isn't her. It's a deep fake. We've all heard it many, many times over. It's just a deep fake. It's always just a deep fake until it's proven to be real, until it's proven to be 100% her. Now, it shocks me that we're still at this point. We've literally gone through an hour-long video of her carving Josh Moon's name into her legs. And within that video, for an hour, are her removing items of her clothing, are her bending over in various aspects, and presenting herself to all and sundry. It's a meaty one, folks. That's what it is. Meaty labia is what we could say, quite frankly. And also, we have seen it in motion, Elaine. So the photograph that's now circulating of you doing the full PPP, I've checked the record. I've examined the hands. I've looked at the flatness of the bum that unfortunately you possess. And it's a tough one, Elaine. It's a tough one. But again, it's not necessarily about It's about why. Why are you doing this shit, Elaine? What the fuck is the matter with you? Don't you have, like, TikTok downloaded? Don't you have what all of the other ethos have on your phone? Can't you just play games like Roblox or some shit? Why does it always have to resort to the needless exhibitionism? To the promotion of a body that has no worthy merit? When we talk about ethos online overestimating their own beauty, I have never seen it more redolent in Elaine's case. Never seen it more redolent in Elaine's case. This is typical overestimation of one's own self-worth to the nth degree. So why? Why? Now we can speculate on why. And I don't think it's too much of a logical leap. It's another Josh Moon in a Discord call. Someone pretending to be Josh, I imagine, again, in a Discord call. Screen capping and taking video clippings of her doing degenerate actions. And because she is such a stupid bitch, because she's like retarded or some shit, she constantly falls for it time and time and time again. And we all know that this ain't the last. There's gonna be a long, long, long journey that Elaine will go on, being catfished by various aspects of Josh Moon. That, spoiler alert, 9 times out of 10 will literally be Josh Moon, pretending not to be himself. It's kind of fucking art, is what I want to say to that. It's kind of fucked, is what I want to say to that. Apparently, the bitch did it in my name. Apparently this crazy bitch thinks that if she presents starfishes to random Josh Moon impersonators on Discord calls, it the approval of the king. Is that my legacy, folks? Is that what I leave behind, ladies and gentlemen? That any no-name, no-mark, no talent just thinks they can spread their anus, and suddenly they're the successor. It might have worked with the £500 land whale that now calls itself PPP. But even PPP, even fat lard-ass snake traitor PPP, knew when to call it a day. He displayed it once, ladies and gentlemen, and once was more than enough. Once was more than enough. It was enough to make the point that was having to be made. It looks like now, every week, we're having to look at what she wants me to do, folks. And because it's gay as fuck to even attempt to do this.
All right, kid. You ready for an adventure?
I'm never ready for this Mandalorian adventure, I'm afraid. But because it's gay as fuck, that she wants us to constantly do this week on week. We're gonna lay out what this crazy bitch wanted us to do tonight. Compare a photograph of me literally doing the starfish. Unwiped, unshaven. A true horror to the heart. Compare that with me doing the exact same thing in a video. Well, what? Like it's literally you doing it all the time, Elaine. I doth put it out there that it's never been a deepfake. I literally put it out there that there's no such thing as a deepfake pertaining to Elaine. If these are deepfakes, these are truly outstanding deepfakes. And why haven't I seen them applied to anyone else in this sector? Why aren't there loads of Ralph deepfakes? Or Fuentes deepfakes? Or Pantsu deepfakes? Why do they only exist for Elaine? And why are they so accurate? And so true to what Elaine would be like and Elaine's life, that they are literally her. So she's TLDR. She's spreading the starfish now. It's a 56-minute deepfake, ladies and gentlemen. It never ends. Why? Why does it have to be every week, Elaine? Can't you just rest? Take a fortnight? Take a bank holiday? Just like, take a break, bitch. Get off the train for just a moment and evaluate what you're actually doing. Because none of these interactions are private. Hasn't it sunk in yet, you dumb cunt? They're never private. We've all seen everything. The Bizarro snatch. Like the 80-year-old woman blown out flat ass that unfortunately you possess. We've seen everything. And I know that is not what... You're not going to let us just be full. You're not just going to let us tap out. Because you're constantly going to be doing this. Forever. It's a deep fake. You know what? This is a deep fake. We're all deep fakes, really, aren't we? But this isn't the show, bizarrely. But it does connect to where we needed to go. Because it's not just about starfishes. It's about logs as well. And I need to do this, that, this. And that. Right, so. That, this. Join me, folks. Join me on this thrilling ride where Join me, folks, on this thrilling magic carpet ride, where now we've departed away from the starfish. We look at logs. We look at our old friend, Sneed9402, otherwise known as... Does anyone say it for me? Anyone want to just say it with me, folks? Who could this be? As of November 24th, 2021. It's Juice Troon. It's Juice Troon. Straight up. It's his burner. It's his burner that he uses and has used since November 24th, 2021. And I've got, I want to say, no less than 200 messages, logs, straight up hard logs, with Josh Moon and a 13-year-old boy. Why does it always have to be the case, Josh? You know, I'm seriously waiting. I mean, I've seen this account before, by the way. You know where I've seen this account? And that username? And look, and the whole tag? I've literally seen the account. I've seen it on Elaine's deepfakes. And what that's done to me is confirm that Josh, she was doing it for Josh. She was literally doing it for him. You might be thinking, no great shock, she's carving his name into her legs. No great shock. But apparently it is. Apparently it literally is. Apparently it literally is. All the fucking time. Can you just carve your name, my name into your legs? Can you just piss yourself in the shower and on your bed? Can you just literally do a PPP starfish? Josh Moon, ladies and gentlemen. Why does Josh want this? Why is he doing this? When publicly, on his forum, he's literally saying, I have no interest in this crazy bitch. I will ban anyone that even talks about her. So why is he doing this in the dark? Why? Can anyone care to explain? But again, it's not about Elaine. This one simply isn't about Elaine the Crazy Con. What this one is about is Josh Moon talking to a 13-year-old boy for screed upon screed. So I want to pose a few questions as we do this. Just bear with me. I want to pose a few questions as we do this because Josh Moon, take a seat. Take a seat, sir. I don't know how any of this can be explained. There's so much. It's look, let's go. We'll just do it all, shall we? 1 for it all. 2 for let's leave Juice alone. He was just... I mean, I don't know how you explain any of this, to be honest. Reality is the 13-year-old kid. No, not really. I just wanted to get a rise out of you people. So why did you hack me, you say? If you want a shout out for the exploit, Juice says, I can do that. Not really. I just wanted to get a rise out of you people because you're all fucking weird. That's why Fortnite danced through the Kiwi farms. I don't want that one yet. I don't want that one just yet. What I want is this one, actually. No. He's always so sorry. You'll have to wait 18 seconds. Bit of foreshadowing there. No, seriously, what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of these logs, and you will decide what the fuck's going on here. So it's a continuation of yesterday's stream where literally Josh gave $800 US to a 13-year-old boy that Fortnite danced through the Kiwi farms, compromised everything. Questions were still there as to why a 13-year-old boy would even be talking to Josh Moon, owner and operator of the Kiwi farms, 33-year-old man. Kind of weirdly fucked, if you ask me. Echoes of Blockland, people are saying. And you know what? It is, isn't it? Parallels are abundant. But you can decide. Because I'm merely just a crazy angler. Just a crazy man. Josh goes, lol, stop reading the news, dummy. The 13-year-old boy goes, you almost doxed me. Bear in mind, look at what the 14-year-old boy is saying. He's saying literally, why would you dox a 9-year-old? Josh is in an argument with this kid. That kid was on the cover of National Geographic because his mum was a fame whore. Josh, just catch yourself for a moment. You're having to explain yourself to a literal child. You know, not even this child has to explain himself. It's you. You are the subordinate in this interaction with a literal kid. The kid on the cover. I heard the story, I looked into it. The kid was not doxed. It's not anywhere on the sites. People made fun of her for being a reader. She lied about me doxing her kid. Lol, nice story. Like, this is the kid. The interaction is so one-sided. I mean, bodied. Lol, nice story. Cool story, bruh. Needs more dragons and shit. This is only one. I have CPS rules and shit now. I've tried very hard to make the site secure. He tries really hard, guys, which is why a 13-year-old boy Fortnite danced across the fucking site. He tries really hard to keep it secure. But I'm just some fucking guy. Unlikely. Because Zenfro is... I mean, I don't know what a Zenfro is, but... You only focus on the website, not the CDNs. You have like 10 CDNs, so the kid is literally blowing the whole story. We don't have... Why does Josh say we? Like he's King Charles. Like he's me. You have not earned the right. Fat, neat, shivering in the Siberian wilderness faggot to refer to yourself in the royal we. Maybe he's referring to him and the Troon moderators. We don't have 10 CDNs. Matrixes are. Yeah, I know. I know this anyway. Discord tried to IP ban. I mean, the kid is literally just... And if you were Josh, like, clearly the kid is having, like, an ADHD moment. He wants to go and watch Dragon Ball Z. Or play, like, Call of Duty. Or FIFA. Kids having, like, an ADHD moment, which you'd assume is cue for Josh to tap out. And block. And go, okay, that's enough now. I've had enough of interacting with a literal child. I have no idea who's doing what on my site. It's a big site. It's not a big site. It's literally 5 users and a moderator team that's filled with trannies. I have no idea who's doing what. He literally lives on the website. He doesn't leave the house. He moved to a different country so he could dedicate more time being on the website. He doesn't work a job. He hasn't got a family. He hasn't got a girlfriend. He hasn't got a pet. He's literally got the website and pizza day. They're the 2 things that keep him going. But he literally has no idea who's doing what. It's a big site. Like, that's Does anyone feel safer with Josh explaining himself to this 13-year-old? Does anyone feel safer if you're really like a degenerate loser that posts on the Kiwi farms and is still doing it after literally Wesley Crusher floss dance his way through the Starship Kiwi farms? If any of you are still out there, do you still trust Josh with your user information, with what you're doing on that site? Like, are you for real? For real? Or is there any trust? Okay, so we have this lined up. We are right where I need to be. I'm a minute ahead. I hadn't expected to do this until literally 30 minutes in, but we'll just steam through. Because it continues. I mean, I did deface it. I did wreck your whole website. I did deface it with me flossing the way through it. And leave my Twitter tag in there. I'm so scared, oh my... Like, the kid is mocking him. I'm so scared of you, you big fat neat loser. I'm so scared. Shall we remind ourselves? Let's remind ourselves of Josh circa 2023. Of Josh at the other end of this interaction with a literal child circa 2023. Neat Hagrid is literally having his ass handed to him on Trooncorn of all places by a child. It's just a web forum, homie. It doesn't exist to scare people. Literally uses the forum as a troll shield to scare people from covering him. That's literally why the forum exists. Kid just mocks him and goes, lol. Lol. Doxing people doesn't mean it. Oh, it's just a web forum. It's not existing. This kid, by the way, Josh told us wasn't politically motivated. Was just a random kid just doing this for fun. He even called this kid morally structured. So, I mean, is this kid truly morally structured? I'd say yes. I'd say that Wesley Crusher ain't heard no bell. Would you, folks? Wesley Crusher ain't heard no bell. Morally structured indeed. Isn't it interesting that Josh calls lines like this? Doxing people doesn't... He calls that morally structured, which says a lot about what he thinks about you troon faggots posting on his site and what you are, and what his site actually is. Even he knows it's all fucked. Phone books are free speech in the US. So, the Kiwi Farms is literally just a phone book, guys. It's just a phone book. Kid goes, it's just a pro-anti-trans doxing forum, laugh my arse off. So, and we need to pause the music for this. Because to make matters even worse for Josh, it's not just... I mean, Josh literally lied to us yesterday and said that this kid wasn't politically motivated. He actually said he was morally structured and shit like that. To make things even fucking worse than they already are, it's not just Wesley Crusher floss dancing his way through Kiwi Farms. It's Wesley Crusher going through he's trooning out. We've got a 13-year-old literal troon who's doing this. Can it get worse, folks? It's just a pro-anti-trans doxing for... It's trans Wesley. It's Troonsley, folks. Troonsley. And now we know why he lied. Now we know why he lied yesterday. Now it can't get worse, surely. And even Troon Wesley. So Josh's cope are that phone books, literally the yellow pages that your dad owns, that your mum might have lying around on a bookshelf somewhere. Literal yellow pages are also scary doxing websites as well. If I had a yellow pages in my house, I'd literally bring it out right now and say, look, it's the Kiwi Farms in paper form. Look at the yellow pages, full of everyone's nudes, full of everyone's doxes, itemizing everyone in the yellow pages, itemizing in the registry, itemizing their every sin. Look at how each member has at least 400 pages dedicated to them. Yes, Josh, the yellow pages is literally the Kiwi Farms. Come on, he says. The alternative to allowing doxing is to disallow it. Like, yes. The alternative to talking to a 13-year-old boy is to not talk to a 14-year-old boy. The alternative to doxing is to disallow doxing, then I have to delete shit. And more important, decide which shit to delete. Well, Josh, it's pretty easy to delete shit when it pertains to you, isn't it? When it talks about you and what you're doing and your Blockland past and you raping kids. It's pretty easy to delete that shit. But suddenly, it becomes a moral Picard-esque issue where you're in 10 forward talking to Gaiden. And you're wondering, how can I even delete shit? And more important, how can he decide which shit to delete? Does he have the right, folks? Kind of bizarre that it all just suddenly gets swept when it pertains to him. But it's a moral quandary when it's anyone else. Oh, and by the way, it gets swept when it pertains to his friends as well. If you're a friend of his, suddenly things just go missing. Things just get swept. If you're Dick Masterson back in the New Project 2 days, suddenly you've got a mansion and not a crack shack in Compton. Suddenly, if you're Nick Ricata, during his locals leaks, you're not going to find anything pinned or highlighted, even if it might be as degenerate as fuck. Even if it were Ralph, it'd be pinned all over. But suddenly, you'll find that it's not a moral quandary about, I have to delete shit, and more important, decide which shit to delete. But the 13-year-old boy has more moral reasoning than a literal 33-year-old man. Not really, Juice. It's not like searching people, not leaking the docs. And he keeps using the skull emoji because even he recognizes that he's battering a corpse. He's literally flogging the dead corpse of Josh in this interaction. It's a skull emoji, Josh, for you. Don't worry, we're going to get into a lot more than just this. But I wanted to, for our next, this. Okay, so our next leak is the kid saying, so bear in mind that Josh said to us that he already knew about the exploit. He already had the information on that, and he didn't decide to pay the kids for the information. In these leaks, he pays the kid for the information. It wasn't an opt. Kid goes, you want me to give you the exploit script? Josh goes, yeah, if you like. Here, patch it. Josh goes, based. Kid goes, I was joking. Of course the kid was joking. Because he wants payment first. You dumb, stupid reet. This is... Juice. You're being played like a puppet on a string by a trooned out Wesley Crusher. Trooned out Wesley Crusher says, I was joking. Repeats the skull emoji to get Josh to kill himself. Writing a script to yell nigger at computers will break them by fear. So what happened was, Josh put this script in. He put it in. Kid gave him this script. Josh goes, based. Yes, thank you. He puts it in. Kid goes, lol, I was joking. Josh goes, writing a script to yell nigger at a computer will break them by fear. Like, Josh literally typed that in, coded it into his thing, his computer yelled and screamed the N-word at it on a loop. Just let that sink in. That's your Dark Lord King, seething at the internet. Who wants to see? Who wants to see Trooned Out Wesley Crusher call this man a pussy? A pussy. All right, bear with me because we have this lined up. I'm exactly where I need to be. My timing is on today. My timing is on point. This ain't the song. This is...
Mother Fridge, hear the moo.
Hear the
Win
moo.
£1,000.
Hear the moo. Moo for me. All right, let's go. 13-year-old boy says, I didn't even import multi-threading. That's how lazy I am, guys. I did the best exploit ever. And the guy's just mocking him. In the ground. I should have made a Kiwi Farms page auto-scraper. You can scrape the site if you'd like. Josh is inviting him to do so. Guys, just keeps going. I could have, but I was scripting this at like 3 a.m, which I was tired as fuck. Well, I'm not going to bring the site up until I fix it. I have never seen an L this bad. This is a total fucking absolute devastation of an L. Say it with me, folks. Pussy. Pussy. Big, fat, shivering in the Siberian wilderness, neat pussy. Well, I'm not gonna bring the sign up, pussy. Lol. I thought you would just fix it and be like, oh well, fixed now, I can go back to Troon owning. But nah, you took down the entire website, laugh my fucking arse off. Win for me, more clout. Fucking no mercy from the Trooned Out Wesley Crusher. Ruthless devastation. It's a fatality, folks. Fatality. Lol. If you just want a shout out for the exploit, I can do that. I can use my power and my platform to give you clout, 13-year-old boy. Is that how it works, by the way? Is that how you broker these deals with the e-celebs, Josh? I'll give you a shout out if you just keep quiet. If you just accede to my wins. If you just stop calling me a big fat shivering in the Siberian wilderness pussy. I'll give you a shout out. Yeah, I'm sure. But I take down the site anytime there's a chance there's been an exploit. That's standard practice. The kid goes, no, not really. I don't want any clout from you, Juice. I don't want to shout out for the exploit. And you certainly can do that, but that is not needed. He says, no, not really. I just wanted to get a rise out of people. Because you're a fucking weird. And why would you dox a 9-year-old? Just felt it in every aspect, folks. There isn't a single win for Josh in this interaction. Bear in mind, it's an interaction with a 13-year-old boy. It just continues. Look at it. Look at him go. Going for hours and hours and hours. Him arguing with a child. Like, folks, isn't it bizarre that this is literally a conversation between the two? A one-sided beatdown where Josh keeps coming back for more. Like, can he not just accept? I mean, obviously, he didn't opt to pay the child $800 US. He didn't just opt to do that. He got pressed to such a degree that the child demanded it, and he seceded. Josh, you're 33-year-old. You're 33 years old, brother. 33 years old. I mean, the kid's asking him, right? Why is there tranny porn? Kid's asking him, why is there tranny porn on Kiwi Farms? Why is it in this thread? Okay? Josh says, oh, the tranny porn is from a tranny rapist. That's an actual rape sent to us from one of the victims. That's what Josh says to the 13-year-old boy. Before this exploit, I thought of brute forcing Kiwi Farms, but I think you have an auto IP banner on port 22. Okay. Why am I explaining this? This is going to give you clues to find out how it worked. Yeah, I'm explaining the whole architecture of my site to you. I don't use passwords anyways. Fix your anti-DDoS stuff. Just in constant skulls, Josh. There's some tricks to it, but it actually does a job almost against all tranny DDoS attacks. Trannies are skids, so they can't DDoS Kiwi Farms. If they even learned any fucking coding language, they could have easily. But nah, they're all skids. Skids must be the new byword of the children. Must be the Zoomer word. Skids. One of them is an ex-Google employee, and he wrote a Go script specifically to solve the SHA challenge for Kiwi Flare. But I don't think he knows how to deploy it to the botnet. If you were the one DDoS attacking the attachments, that actually worked really well. Because one, I don't have the same kind of rules on attachments, and two, he's telling this to the hacker, the 30-year-old boy. And he genuinely thought that none of this would become public, which is why he's telling us all how the site works, the whole architecture of the site. This is fucking wild. This is your OPSEC, by the way. This is your cybersecurity master of the internet douche move. Guy gets pressed by a 13-year-old boy? Loose lips sink ships, Josh. I wouldn't trust you holding the line. Josh, by the way, if you ever wanted to know what Josh would be like when he's finally caught by the FBI, when he's finally in Guantanamo Bay, you want to know how he's going to be? He's going to break first. He's going to squeal like a pig. There won't even be any pleading the fifth or no comment or I wish to remain silent, Your Honor. It'll be instant ratatouille, folks. The full-on ratatouille is what it will be, ladies and gentlemen. There won't be any hint of discretion. It will all just come out. Because we've seen it literally now coming out with Agent 13-year-old boy. It's Special Agent 13-year-old Troon, folks. Pressing Josh, waterboarding the man, tying him to a chair and putting a light on above his head. People are saying it's not even a hacker, it's literally a script kiddie. For real. It's literally a kid who wrote a script, Persip style. It's just the extent of it that's harrowing. It's the extent of all of these chat logs. Kids pressing him on Blockland. Should we just read it all? Do you want to see the kid pressing him on Blockland? That's what I said before. I was 15 and it got brought up when I was 18. I've never been a lolicon. Okay. Okay. I think I accidentally downed the website because I was sending too many packets, whatever this means. So, I mean, the kid's just smoking cigars. Rest in piss juice, you won't be missed. So, I'm just going to take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and then at the top of the hour, we are going to unpack this. That's what I said before. I was 15 and it got brought up again when I was 18. And Juice has never been a lolicon. At the top of the hour, we are going to unpack that one, ladies and gentlemen. And while you all just hype yourself up, I need to get this. Where did I have it? Here. Because like Trooned Out Wesley Crusher, tonight we are all I'm just getting my lemsip, and I'll be back with you. But I'll just give you a taster. Let's give you a taster. Let's give you a taster, folks, of what we're about to unpack. We'll set the world on fire. Tonight, we could go higher than the sun. I wish it was box wine. I'm genuinely under the weather, folks. I hope you appreciate the lengths I go to provide this show. Not like a summer chill or some shit. Because even ill as fuck, even with a sniffly ass nose and a cough and a headache, I can still do this. I can do it in my sleep. Don't need to psych yourself up for any of this shit. And so, I hope with this one, I'm going to shed some light on the situation, folks. I'm going to shed some light on the situation. I'm going to shed some light. It's the prop lamp. It's why we bought it. So we could literally do this moment where we go, let's shed some light. Okay. No, it literally is like a lemsip. It's a posh lemsip. It's a Waitrose lemsip. Which is like lemon, ginger, and chamomile or some shit. Apparently it's supposed to make me well. It's not worked, but it's very nice. Okay, so Brian says Josh is punching holes in his walls right now. But the crowd is yelling, slit his throat, drink his blood, and we will do so just at the top of the hour. But I need to just get what I needed to find. Josh is... Look at Cog. This is Cog now. This is Cog as we speak. Tough. But it's not about Cog. Not this time. Look at this. It's literally like mocking me. The adverts are now mocking me.
Nasal spray for unbeatable 24-hour hay fever relief.
It doesn't work, by the way. So, let's remind ourselves of where we left off before Mr. Worf was told to fire. That's what I said before. I was 15, and it got brought up again when I was 18. I've never been a lolicon. Juice on his website. I support an N-word's right to eat lead. People who take this position about me usually bring up that I do not support the criminalization of any drawn pornography, as I've previously said that people who know they're pedophiles should seek therapy. Let's shed some light on the situation. They should seek therapy and not a bully. I just lay this out because I don't think I've ever summed up my thoughts in one place. It's a legendary post. Legendary. Le Pedophile Defender. Our federal laws on drawn pornography are perfect. There is no reason to ban drawings. There is no reason to ban drawings. I've never been a lolicon. There is no reason to ban drawings. She was 3,000 years old, Your Honor. It was an elf girl. Fictional characters can never be an injured party. In the pedophile A-log, there is an exception to the drawing rule, which I also agree with. Characters drawn in the likeness of real children is considered CP, even if the source of material is not. This is what Shadman did, and that's why I'm notably an A-log of Shadman. You cannot draw porn of people's children, but you can do so with fictional characters. Child molesters convicted with DNA or video footage should be executed by firing squad within months of their conviction. Right. But in the last one, you literally just said they should seek therapy. People who say they are paedophiles need to be dealt with by law because no one ever lies about this shit. If I had a button on my desk that just said kill all pedophiles and it had 100% accuracy and fixed the issue by killing everyone attracted to pubescence, I would press it. So presumably that would be a suicide, Josh. But that button doesn't exist. It will never exist. So we have to make... But he literally does have that button. He has that button to kill all paedophiles on his site. He can ban them. He can get rid of them. He doesn't. He doesn't press the button. There you go. Tons of people disagree with me because they have reasons to believe what I do, and they all stem from personal freedom and government control over thoughts and lives. And this is the golden one. This is what Gator says, by the way. Thought crime should not exist. Thought crime should not exist. Juice says, I've never been a lolicon. But it continues, folks. It continues. You might think, surely that's it. Surely there's not more. Surely there's not more, ladies and gentlemen. And you might be thinking, I see Brian Dunn in the chat. What does Brian have to do with this one? I need this. What does Brian have to do with this one? Because Josh says, I do not believe sex toys should be banned. Brian's entire obsession with Vidar stems from him saying that silicone sex toys molded to look underage should not be banned. I agree with Vidar for two reasons. So it's okay for underage sex toys. He agrees with Vidar for not just one reason, but two. There's no reason to ban it besides it being gross, and I'd much rather paedophiles jerk off to lolicon and fuck plastic than fuck it. Just let that sink in. Not just once, 2 times. A degenerate piece of shit that defends pedos. What happened to the therapy, you might ask? Well, apparently when they attend therapy, they get some underage sex toys to use. But that's okay. He agrees. He sees no reason to ban it. He'd much rather they do this. I'd rather them indulge in their fetish instead of not indulging in their fetish. Now, you might be just hovering over 3. I've advocated in the past for pedophiles seeking therapy. I still believe that if you think you are addicted. I mean, come on. He wrote an essay for us all to unpack. And here's the essay. So, look, real talk. Would a man who's written an essay as in-depth as that, would you allow him to be near a 13-year-old boy? Would you? Would you allow him to be near a 13-year-old boy when he's thought about this sort of thing to such a degree where he's able to write 2,000-word essays on the matter? And the conclusion seems to be the conclusion seems to be on the side of the pedophiles. Would you allow him to be anywhere near Wesley Crusher, trooned out, floss dancing his way through the kiwi farms? The fact that he felt he needed to lie by saying he's never been a lolicon, he'd never defend it to a child, says it all. I'm never building my online business. Like ever. I will never build my online business. Please cease with the adverts. But let's just go back to the start, shall we? I'm enjoying this one. Shall we unpack? One for unpack, two move on to the next segment. Lots for unpack. Okay. A lot for unpack. We'll go with this guy. What it's doing now, it plays like 3 adverts in a row, but let's unpack this one. Gator. Sorry, Gator. My arrival is imminent. So this is that faggot. This is the faggot that literally looks like a clone of Gator. Shall we remind ourselves, folks? Shall we just take a dip back? AF Streamwatch is what that faggot's called. And he looks like this. There we are. This is AF Streamwatch. Gator swooped in to defend his honor, but it's actually AF Streamwatch. Coin Merchant's top guy and Gator knockoff, with piss stains on his pants, Gator-like characteristics and a total lot persona, right? AF Streamwatch has caught on to the fact that we drank his blood. We showed no mercy in drinking his blood, Gator style. I'm just hearing from Ralph that Godwinson went after me. Soy emoji. Typical Brit. Isn't it funny how the Gators, how the Anus Men, how the AF Streamwatchers, and how the Juices all run to the typical Brit line. Don't trust them, even when they speak the truth. They never have any good insults, that right? No doubt, after the real takeaway, Godwinson is a moron. They will all use to attack people they hate, even after he's gone after them. Shall we be this guy's first like? There we go. Because Gator sees Zoom in his cornflakes. Gator sees Zoom in his alphabetic spaghetti. Because when Gator walks down the street, any single person might well be Zoom. Now, I am Zoom. Literally British Zoom. Whatever that is. British Corey Barnhill. Like Gator. Zoom in your cornflakes, brother. How am I like Zoom? Okay, the one common trait that we share is that we call Gator a pedophile. We state facts, and we say that he's lying about his Puerto Rican girlfriend. And we also keep reminding him of his sister using the Holloman family crest on Shotokan that she draws on commission. So I suppose there's quite a common similarity in that way, you know. And as you didn't know, British Zoom, it's finally concluded. I can only imagine the two. It's the two faggots. AF Streamwatch reporting on the sector. A man just a man, 1 minute at a time. These are Gator's friends online. Sorry, Gator. This is the one I talked about. We happen to have had sexual intercourse. Infant. Pedophile. She was 3,000 years old, Your Honor. folks. So, that's my show. That's the Kino Casino episode. What are we on, 4? Well, I'm going to rest this down now. If I could just... I'm definitely going to have to invest in a phone stand. And what we'll do is, in a few sips of this, I will take call-ins. So on the 80th minute, it's time to call in. It's for you to call in, ladies and gentlemen. So, we already have 5 people waiting. Oh, hang on. I don't know what this is doing. So there are already 5 friend requests that have just come in. So, bear with me. I'm really not well, folks. What can I say? We'll accept all of these faggots. So, and the floor is yours. Call in. This is your chance to speak. The sector speaks. So let's listen to this one. Brian, I'm going to put you on hold for just a second because there's a few more callers that want to get ahead of you, and I want to give you enough room to speak, brother. So, hello, sir. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Take on
I have
events.
some questions for you about like your some of your film stuff because I know you mentioned you're like a big Carpenter guy, which I also like.
But look, I'm flattered. By all means, we can talk about films, but I need a take on what we've just witnessed on Josh Moon having his ass handed to him by Wesley Crusher, by him saying he's never been a lolicon, by him writing an essay defending pedophiles. We need some sort of take on that before we jump into talking about John Carpenter, my friend.
Yeah, he's just like a lying faggot, but that wasn't really news to me. I guess it's more instances.
Succinct. Yeah. Lying faggot. I suppose that's all we need, isn't it?
True, yeah.
All right, go ahead then, sir. Talk about John Carpenter, my friend.
So do you like the Mouth of Madness at all? That's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, my favorite is Escape from New York, followed by The Thing, followed by Prince of Darkness. They're my favorite John Carpenters. People overrate They Live, I think, but yeah.
Agreed, yeah. Lisa Blunt is like hot as fuck too, isn't she? In Prince of Darkness.
Who?
Lisa Blunt, you know her? She was in that. She was in Dead and Buried.
Yes.
She's like.
Okay. We will do a movie call-in show, my friend, where we discuss all of this. But this has really blindsided me, and I did not expect to talk about movies. So thank you for calling in, and we'll go to the next caller. Hello, sir. You're on the air. You're on the air, sir.
Okay.
Yes, you might have to turn yourself up, my friend. I see if I can turn you up. Okay, I've turned you up so you can speak at normal volume now.
Okay, yeah. This mic is notoriously quiet.
Okay.
But yeah, Shannon, once again... Wait, what is... what? I forget. Is his name Shannon Gaines? Who's Shannon Gaines? I keep calling Gator Shannon.
Gator is all of those things. Brian Holloman, Shannon Gaines, the Gator Gamer.
Okay.
It's me, Gator Time. They're all him.
Imagine getting to the point where you've been so buckbroken by the internet that you refer to yourself as Gator with the hard Y. You've embraced the homosexuality in your own soul. You know that no woman will ever touch you. You'll never, hold a woman and smell that fresh floral scent. Gone. You're never going to feel her hair on your hand as it runs through your fingers. Never. So instead, you embrace the hard Y Gator, and your life goal is to post in Godwinson's thread and make it so that Godwinson then says, you know what? I think Gator is not as bad as everyone cracks up for him to be.
And that's what all of the Chudbuds leaks showed us, that his life dream is for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you said it last stream. He wants to come on and be like, Godwinson, oh, I would suck your dick, Godwinson. And he wants you to say, oh, well, Gator, now that you put it that way,
Okay.
maybe you're okay. No, I won't hate you.
Any hot takes on anything besides Gator?
I don't know why Josh was saying anything to that 13-year-old boy. Seems... What he said wasn't that terrible, but the idea that he didn't think that his DMs would get leaked, I wouldn't be saying anything technical at all about the site. It's just
Literally giving away
I do
details
agree
on the
that
architecture of the site
like
to a
paying
child.
people who find bugs is pretty common, so that's not completely out of the realm of reality. But the fact that he's like, oh yeah, this also is a little bit of an issue. It's like, well, why? What's the point of saying that? There's no benefit to you for saying that. Well, you wanted to make another script to fuck up your website? Just a bad idea.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Thanks for calling in, brother. Sign off with a hot take promo.
Has Flamenco or Gator streamed recently? Because
I think Flamenco streamed a few days ago.
But I don't subscribe to them or watch them.
I think Flamenco streamed like a few days ago. Gator seems to be streaming with Rand quite a bit.
Is that still his YouTube channel? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for calling in, brother. Hello, sir. You're on the air. Hello, sir. You're on the air.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm well. As well as I can be. Hot
Thanks for
takes.
taking my call. I wanted to say that I think Josh Moon allows pedophiles because I guess maybe that's like half his audience.
Tough. So is Josh a pedophile, or is he just accepting to share a space with them?
I think he maybe could become one.
Right.
But at the moment, I'm not sure if he's engaged in that yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough when you've got people literally just saying he could become one. It ain't beyond the realms of possibility. Has he... I just think it's wild that you've got a 13-year-old boy, not only in an extended conversation with Josh, but also in, like, the superior position where he's coming out as a victor against a 33-year-old man who's supposed to be a Dark Lord of the internet.
I find the whole Kiwi Farms, I think you're really funny, but the Kiwi Farms sector makes my skin crawl because there's just a lot of really weird stuff in there that I don't think would ever be tolerated in any kind of normal world.
Well, that's why it's been delisted and deplatformed everywhere else, isn't it? That's why it's been de-indexed or whatever. Because it does make people's skin crawl.
I really wanted to ask you, that's one of the main reasons I called is, what is these people's MO? Like, I don't think they're really...
Their MO is to rape kids.
What? Well, I mean, like, how do they portray themselves? Like, because, I wouldn't really call them pro-white. I mean, I like to say the N-word, some of them, but what is the point of their whole thing? At least what they say, is it to just laugh at people, or what is it?
Well, the Kiwi Farms we'll peel back behind the curtain. We will shed light on the Kiwi Farms. It exists purely as a troll shield for Josh. Without it, Josh would be a lolcow on the scales not seen before. It exists purely to shield Josh and go after any of Josh's personal enemies, like Ethan Ralph. You'll get a sub for him if you're Ethan Ralph or anyone that slighted Josh.
That makes sense. I get where you're coming from.
And as for their MO, a lot of them are troons, mentally ill, exist and sit on like what is it? Fediverse? Post? A lot of them exist in weird little chats with Josh where they do his bidding. But it's not what it used to be, unfortunately. So it lost any sort of relevance, and now it's 5 people posting. Chudbuds revealed.
So when did it really lose relevance?
I want to say around the time where they sub-forumed Ralph, because around that same time there was a big hack. They got de-indexed, they got delisted. About 2020 is when it lost relevance. 2021, generously. Then it just became a closed system.
And what percentage of people went there to kind of laugh at these horrible people, and then what percentage of the people were kind of horrible people themselves, just trying to bury other people they had a personal gripe with?
Well, I think it's always been like that. The way I saw it was like, the fat bitch that eats food that people go crazy over.
Yeah.
That used to bring in a lot of the women off Facebook and whatever, YouTube. Toad would bring those in, right? And they'd be coming on and they just exist within that community, right? They have long since gone. There is no organic normie entry into the forum anymore. It's literally just trannies and Discord faggots. The user base is literally like Discord gay ops crews. It's a Shannon Gaines wet nightmare.
So, what happened to all that silver bullshit where he was having all these problems with his like silver coins or whatever? What was that about?
All right. I assume you're asking this because you know what the take's going to be. But I'm about to blow
really.
your mind. Okay.
I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with all this stuff, but I find it like morbidly interesting.
Well, you're going to find it even more morbidly interesting once I get the right remix, so bear with me. God, it's hard to type without the... Just bear with me.
Yeah, no rush.
You'll have to repeat your question again, so we've got a good lead.
So, I'm unfamiliar with the whole silver thing, and I thought it seemed interesting to me where I guess a bunch of people bought a bunch of silver coins, and there were all these issues with I guess the Pinks or whoever was making them or something, and I don't know if people actually ever got them. It just seemed like a really, because my familiarity with Josh was, maybe he kind of was. I know this probably sounds funny, but it shows my naivety with this stuff. Is he was kind of like a free speech advocate on the internet, and so that's what I guess the perception he was trying to portray. And then he was doing the silver thing to maybe raise some extra money. And that's about where my knowledge stopped.
And that's where your knowledge needs to stop, because I'll blow the lid on the whole thing and I'll explain exactly what happened with the silver thing. So,
cool.
Back in the day, Josh Moon cozied up to Dick Masterson in an attempt to get on Patreon, a Patreon alternative called New Project 2. On the site, he was the highest earner on the website, making $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month was robbed from him when Vordrak took down the website for hosting Josh, who'd been banned off MasterCard. Josh has been banned off various different payment processors and platforms and MasterCards and banks. No one wants Josh or his money because he's an evil piece of shit. Because he's a fat neat shivering in the Siberian wilderness. So Josh was struggling. He was really fucking struggling hard. And he realized that he needed to find a new way of making money. And he was told during COVID that silver had gone up. The price of silver had just increased exponentially. Neats were stockpiling silver. And who has a bigger stockpile of meats than Josh Moon on the Kiwi farms? No one else has a higher stockpile of meats than Juice. But he needed to figure out a way that he could push the silver to the Neats. At the same time as all of this was happening in 2020, Ethan Ralph had flown across an 18-year-old girl called Faith Vickers from California to his home to impregnate and fun. It was a wild time, but Juice was sat there in the wings, spying a business opportunity, because on his website, a prominent poster known as the Squire of Guthos, the Squire, he had decided to fully dox the girl and her family, and specifically her dad. Now, her dad literally mints coins. Her dad literally has a coin shop full of coins, full of precious metals. He knows how to use the pipeline to melt and smelt the precious metal into a coin, into a delivery line basis. Juice then decided, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in contact with Matthew Vickers, the man who can melt me these coins, melt me this silver as a coin, so I can send it to Neats all across the land. What then occurs is that him and Mr. Vickers have a conversation. That conversation goes like this. Mr. Vickers says, right, what I need you to do, I need you to make there be a Ralph Gunt sub-forum. I want you to then pin every single time there's any Ralph happening. I want you to prominently feature my side of the court case. I want you to not ban anyone that I'm using as a proxy to post on the site. I don't want you to ban any of the sock puppets I'm using as a proxy to post on the site. Josh goes, yes. Yes. Mr. Vickers says, okay, let's sell some coins. And so Josh uses Mr. Vickers to melt the silver into coins and submit to all of his fucking retards who bought into the silver. That's what happened, my friends. That's how it went down.
So all the bullshit were like the Indians and the Kinks were like fucking up his orders. That was just all bullshit. That was all lies.
Just repeat that question.
Okay, so what I thought I saw him say, or I listened to a few streams. I don't find them very entertaining, but
who does?
He was talking about how like it sounded like he had placed the silver order with this foreign company, and they were screwing up the orders, and that's why these NEETs weren't getting their silver. That's what I know. What the cover story was. Is that correct?
All right. Now it was a foreign company by Josh's standards. Josh is in the Siberian wilderness, and Mr. Vickers is in California. So it was a foreign company fucking up the orders. He was right, but it was also Mr. Vickers. And to put all of your faith in Mr. Vickers, a man who legitimately can't bring Ralph to justice, that's why it failed. Because he relied on Mr. Vickers to do it. And he believed Mr. Vickers' lies.
So did all those people get their silver, or is that...
Did all of those people get their silver? They did not.
I don't know, man. This is crazy, man.
They did not get their silver, my friend. We'll go to the next caller. But thanks for calling in. Hello, sir, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, sir, you're on the air.
I think Josh is fat.
Yes?
Like, it would be really good if he did that.
You think Josh is fat, and it would be really good if he did die. Based.
Well, you should keep going, honestly. I remember when PvP did the fucking hunt the gun. He always got really tilted over that shit.
Pizza Day. Pizza Day. The guy lost a...
Pizza Day.
Go ahead.
Fuck. The craziest thing he ever said was 10,000 calories. He'd like starve himself. That was like some white girl like fucking eating shit. Eating disorder.
I will show you a picture of Josh circa 2023. Does it look like he's starving himself? Does that look like a man who's starving himself? His big fat head. Got some weird troon beads around his neck as well. I mean, that looks to me like every day is pizza day.
He looks like yeah, that's a well-fed man.
That's a well-fed man.
Mm-hmm. He's John Potter now, isn't he?
John Potter.
Well, he keeps like changing his names and shit.
Why would he need to change his name if he was? Why would he need to change the name his daddy gave him if he was such an innocent man?
Why would he need to go from country to country? Why would you need to go from fucking Ukraine to Serbia to all these places?
Yes,
it really makes you think.
It makes you think, really, especially when like his defense for the forum is that it's just the yellow pages. It's just the yellow pages.
Dude, the forum is ontologically good. If you're against the forum, you're against free speech and you're for white genocide. Yeah. If you think there's some gay shit going on for the forum, you're basically like, what's it? Fucking hope not hate. That's what you are.
It makes you wonder then why the man has to literally flee countries and change his name every 6 minutes.
Payroll too.
That's right. Yeah, that's another one. If you say anything positive about Ethan Ralph, that it's not newsworthy that he farted, then suddenly you're on his payroll.
I've heard about the forum is that it's basically just this. It's like a trawling board for e-celebs, just to just slough off information, just so they can cover on their own streams and get donos and super chats and shit.
Yes.
It really, you started to. I don't know when the culture started to change. Well, it was a fucking gun sum forum, to be honest.
Yes. Give the hot take on that, because you're right. For me, that's when it changed. Go ahead.
when the gun sub forum went up, you got this like this offload from the fucking fat lady A-logs and shit like that, and they say, "Oh, what's this Ralph thing?" And then suddenly you get these weird fuckers who start streaming about Ralph, and you see it on what's fucking Vickers's fucking show,
The Good, the
Vickers
Bad, and the
show.
Vicious.
You see this rogues gallery of fucking autists. You see a VTuber. You see Anus Man, who's like the face matches the voice.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
I thought worse. Honestly, this was saw the picture of fucking Genius Anus. I was pretty impressed because I was thinking like death fat levels of like this guy.
Well, there's still hope.
It was horrible. But you see all these people, and it's like you just know that they were originally on this Chantal train before it was decided, oh, Ralph, this fat guy, he must be like the same thing. But I remember when PP.
You know, I'll just pause you there because this is such a correct take. Because Josh tried to prompt and prop up Ralph as literally Chantel 2, as Amber Lynn Reed 2.
Yeah, I remember early on, you'd always say, "Wow, this is like Chantal and shit." I remember actually a pretty good quote. I haven't watched too much Mad at the Internet. Fun fact.
Who has?
That's like a. But one of the few Mad at the Internet episodes. My first experience with Mad at the Internet was pretty great because it was actually an episode on his Blockland days.
Right.
And I might be misremembering, but he's going over this guy, and there's this constant through line of this guy who's just like harassing the shit out of people, saying he's gonna like kill them, skin them, rape them, this, that, and the other fucking thing. And then he turns out he does this great twist at the end, and then he just says, "And that was me the whole time." He revealed that this guy who was like going fucking crazy on Blockland was him.
Yeah. And, I mean, he said, I recall that because he said he was going to cut the person's legs off and arms and eyes and ears.
The chat replay, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Saw that, I'm like, "Oh, this guy's fucking insane." So this is
not this guy.
This is your custodian. This is your custodian of who gets to direct the content. This is This is the guy who's directing everything, saying, go forth, retards, go forth, autists, and A-log.
He describes himself as a one-man apocalypse, by the way. Describes himself as a one-man
apocalypse, like the fucking guy from Hatred. His name is not important, but what he's going to do is important. And what he's going to do is just sit in his ass in whatever fucking third world country and not work a job, any sort of shit like that. I don't know.
No, I think this is a base take. You've been a pretty good caller, my friend.
It's a reasonable thing. Yeah. Last question.
Go ahead.
Where the fuck do I start with Star Trek?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, right. Personally, if you really want to get into it and you want like my endorsement of how to get into it, literally watch Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home. Watch them all together as a trilogy. Then go back and watch a few of the TOS episodes. Balance of Terror, Piece of the Action, Trouble with Tribbles, Corbomite Maneuver, and Amok Time, and Mirror Mirror. They're your 6. And if you like it after all that, then just watch everything. Because I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah, because so far I've watched a few episodes of TNG where they could just be like their own sort of.
The thing is with TNG, I really don't recommend people start with TNG at any point because it's so dry and boring. But if you start with the TOS stuff, Shatner's charisma really carries it, you know.
Yeah, I kind of started with season 3 of TNG, and even like the few episodes I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. This might appeal to me. So
it is. I mean, it is good, but I mean, I wouldn't start with TNG personally. You want to get a feel for how the show works when it's like really firing on all cylinders. Yeah. Season 3's got some great episodes. Like one of my favorites is Who Watches the Watcher from season 3, and Sins of the Father in Sarek, in The Offspring. I mean, there's some really great episodes within that season. But if you want my opinion, I'd start with the TOS Genesis trilogy and then go from there, because that'll give you a good insight. Okay. All right, thank you for calling in, sir.
I'll take that. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
next caller. All right, we might have to get the call-in music ready. All right, we didn't even get a chance to play the whole song this time. You're on the air, sir.
Can you hear me, Godwinson?
I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, Godwinson. King of the sector here, hosting the show while sick.
That's right. I've got a sniffly nose, my friend. But what's your hot take? Please go ahead.
Josh getting absolutely fucking bullied by a literal child is fucking hilarious. Jesus
It's tough,
Christ.
isn't it? Isn't it tough? Literally
Fucking
a kid.
brutal. Oh, man, he's on his fucking knees there.
Not only is it objectively like a massive L, but what do you think about that? I mean, this is a man who literally he's probably seen more CP than any human could possibly see, both in like his promotion of it and also his moderation of it. I mean, does it not make you uncomfortable that this guy is talking to minors extensively?
Oh, he's had to. I think this was. I don't think Josh was happy to talk with this kid, though. I think he was very, very upset and was willing to fucking suck cock to get out of that one.
Would you say he was mad at the internet in his interaction?
Oh, he's very butthurt right now at the internet. Having to pay a Kurdish child. It was $800. Jesus Christ!
It was 5 XMR, which amounts to $800 US. Yes.
Godwinson, you were bitching about pizza day. He ain't got that anymore.
Yeah, he's had to forgo a few pizza days. I think you're right there. He's had to forgo a few pizza days. A few of the callers, the common thread within their takes was identifying a point where it dropped off. They recognised the fact that there was like a time when the Kiwi Farms had a bit of a golden age, a bit of a peak. When do you think it dropped off? Or do you think it's still at its peak? Still in its golden age?
I think it's taken some hits, and I think that's partially because it's literally gotten assailed by Keffels and the crew there.
Yes.
I think you're a bit too critical of the Gun subforum, because I think that part of the beauties of the subforum is the fact that the people that surround the person are just as, if not more, autistic than the person themselves.
Well, this is it. The A-logs are far more autistic and degenerate than Ralph has ever was.
Like even back to like the origin of A-log, like the Anthony Legato going up on stage and talking about Chris Chan is far more fucking cringier than Chris Chan just being Chris Chan. Like. Yes. These people are fucking weird, and that most certainly describes the A-logs of Ethan Ralph.
Damn right. Damn right. Any hot takes on where this might go? How the sector is currently? Potential happenings with Elaine. Was that really her Starfish? Is it a deep fake?
Oh, you believe in the bumblebees, Godwinson?
Yeah, I think I am. I think it was a black oil virus.
I think that fucking PPP most certainly has betrayed everything that he originally stood for.
Yeah.
And I think he knows this, and I think that's why you're the only person who does call-in shows, because he knows the audience will be very critical.
Well, I mean, even if they are critical, you can always bounce back from that. You know, you can drink their blood back. It's not difficult. But I guess he's just a scared little bitch-made faggot, squealing like a bitch into Warski's arms. It ain't hard to do the Kino Casino right, is it, folks? It ain't hard to do it right. Thanks for calling in, my friend. We'll go to our next caller because we've got a few in the queue. Thank you, sir. The computer's crashed. Our computer has crashed. Okay. Are we back? We're back. Okay. All right, so now's your chance to call in. You've already called in, my friend. You can save it and you can come back next show. We'll carry on with the call-in music. So Brian was calling in, and Brian's now pretending that he's not online and watching the stream. So, I mean, we'll wait for Brian. I mean, he called twice. Every single time while we were on the air with other callers. So, now's your chance, Bri. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Well, Godwinson. You know, they keep beating me down, but I just can't stop holding all these W's. It could be 5 years ago, it could be 2 days ago, but I'm always fucking right. Josh is a pedophile. Fighter's a pedophile. I fucking said it then, I'll say it again now. You know what you should really talk about? And I don't know why. Percival Squire told me this should never be brought up about Josh. I don't
go
know
ahead,
why
sir.
it is that
We're in the Brian zone.
People go missing if you talk about this, but I'm gonna fucking do it.
Go ahead.
Fuck all that shit. I'm Joshua Connor Moon. You know what's really funny about Josh? It's not his pedophilia. It's his money. You ever looked at where he gets his money? Now, if you don't know, Godwinson, Josh is on something called a match list. He's literally cannot have a bank account. So, people decided to look into where Josh gets his actual currency. How does he live? How does this guy pay his bills? How does he buy food? Right? You know what they found out, Godwinson? They found out he starts up shell companies with some guy in Australia who works for the CCP and in Singapore, Australia, and he uses PO boxes that have been reported for criminal organizations.
Whoa.
And he funnels money through them. I don't know. You got to look into this stuff. I'm telling you, it's amazing, guys. How much this
So he's funneling in millions and millions of bitcoins
millions of dollars
through
but on a real note.
through a Chinese shell company.
It is an interesting thing. There was a guy who did like a deep dive into this, and he just went missing, claiming that a criminal organization got involved because Josh uses a criminal organization tied to the Russia and the CCP to get paid. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. He has a shell company in Singapore, and he has another shell company in Australia. And you can look up. I swear to God, look this up. It's nuts.
I don't need evidence for this. I fully believe this. I believe this more than I do anything in life.
It's fucking real. They even dox the fucking agent that he uses, and the guy's like some Chinese agent. I wish it was bullshit.
I wish it was bullshit as well, but it's real.
I wish it was. It's fucking nice.
It's real.
It's real. It's real. It's real. How you been, buddy? What do we do? And what's the whole take with Josh now, right? He's just always been this way, talking to 13-year-old boys. You know what I find funny, Adam?
Go ahead.
I find it funny that every time he gets hacked, right, he starts a holy jihad war against the hackers or the group or the people trying to DMCA his website down. You know, if it isn't Zoom, it's Path Network. If it isn't Path Network, it's Keffels and the trannies.
And now it's Wesley Crusher, Brian. It's literally Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, but you know what the difference? You know what the difference is, though, Adam? Is he unlike the other like a dozen or 2 dozen events that have happened where people have tried to take him down, he immediately befriends the child hacker. Gives
Of
them
course.
$800 and slides in their DMs.
Immediately befriends the
Sus
child.
there, bud. Sus.
Kind
a
of
little
fucked,
sus.
isn't it? Very little sus.
Immediately.
Immediately so.
To the point where he's telling people on Telegram, leave the child alone. Leave him alone.
Well, the child's now a mod. Child's now a mod in the Discord and on his Kiwi things.
No, what?
It's true.
What? Are you serious?
It's as true as the Chinese shell company moving millions of bitcoins for Josh Moore.
No, that, dude, I'm telling you, you have to, Percival and them will have to give you the stuff from it. But for some reason, I was going to talk about it. I was going to pull up all the stuff. It's like he's got a P.O. box and like these 2, it's a bunch of shit. And they were like, you'll literally get criminal organizations knocking on your door and kidnap you in the middle of the night. if you talk about this. And I'm like, what? And there's like some story of some guy who got literally kidnapped for looking into Josh's money, supposedly. I don't know. I can't fucking tell anymore. But it's insane. It's utterly insane.
So you're saying the source is Persip. Source is Persip. Perspicacity is our number one guy. Our man on the inside of Josh's eggs.
No. You're not understanding, Godwinson. No, I brought up when I was looking at it, because there was a guy writing all of this shit out. He was like, he had the fucking sticky notes on the wall with the red string. You know, he was going through the motions, and I had brought up, I was like, hey, is anybody looking at this?
Right.
And that's when Squire and Persip pulled me to the side and were like, this is dangerous territory, Brian.
Jesus.
You don't want to cover this. You'll get kidnapped. You'll get taken. You'll get black bagged.
Someone has actually sent me the identity of who this person is, Brian. And this is pretty wild.
Who?
I think they look familiar, but you'll have to help me. You'll have to help me with this. This is the identity of the person that can confirm everything.
Let me go to your stream.
Okay, Brian.
Persip? Is it Persip?
No, I don't know who it is really, Brian. It's sort of a strange one. I don't think I've ever seen this.
Now. Go ahead.
But apparently, this is the guy that's behind the whole thing.
Hurry up.
The whole thing. I mean, are we ready? It all goes back to.
Do it, man.
It all goes back to this guy.
Sargon? This is taking 10 years. Come on now.
I mean, can we identify, folks? Codename Florida. Codename Otter.
Persip? That's Persip.
Codename Beefy Otter.
The otter? Oh, no!
The guy on the inside.
Are we A-logging Persip now?
All the details on the Otter Soprano himself, that's right.
Otter Soprano.
All right. What are the hot takes on Gator calling everyone he doesn't like Zoom? Seeing Zoom in the cornflakes.
I mean, Gator's fucking... Look, I don't understand it. I think Gator needs to just go out and make a stream and like try to coherently explain his side, because he's not once has he actually explained anything. Even when he said he was going to go live and do it with Randbot, right? All he did was go through the Chudbuds leaks that weren't about him and didn't mention anybody at all. Yes. And then he went right back to Twitter and started saying schizo theories. Schizo theory after schizo theory after schizo theory. Now you're British Zoom. So apparently you like to hack into children's cameras, and you're a super hacker who works for MI6, or as an, that's kind of like the equivalent, right? And then you also like run a swatting group on Discord, because that's, if you're going to call someone Zoom, that's
might as well.
That's what he does,
might as well, Bri. Might as well have a plate gag as well. You know, might as well. Let's go the whole hog and see Zoom in the cornflakes with the Gator game on.
Yes. All right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just Gator. He's schizophrenic. I'm telling you, he needs medication, man. He just needs medication, and he just needs to call in and explain.
I mean, why waste the money on the medication when a bullet's cheaper, Bri? But that's just my take.
He's crazy, dude. He's legit crazy.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Bri.
Real.
It's real.
All right, see you, buddy.
Thanks for calling in. You know you're in a tight spot when Brian Dunn's calling you crazy. We could end the show on the Brian Zone, or we could carry on with more callers. It's entirely up to you, folks. The sector speaks. It's the man on the grassy knoll. He's not only blowing the lid on the whole case, he's literally blowing the case as well. And taking it up the case. He's the keeper of all of Josh's secrets. Deep throat, quite literally. Release the DMs. But who might he be? Can anyone identify? Shaggy, you'll have to call again. I was doing a Persip segment. Shaggy, you're on the air, sir. You're on the air, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I was just gonna call in to say it's like, once again, Gator's been called out and he's not here, but he'll be talking shit later in his fucking little Discord, and we'll see it get leaked, and it's like, who the fuck is buying this cope?
Well, the
Like,
lines
I
are
don't
always
know
open,
how the
Shaggy.
fuck are they...
The lines are always open for Gator. He gets priority access in the queue. He can always come on and speak his truth.
Well, yeah, to that effect, I mean, like, where the fuck is PPP? I mean, you've been saying his fucking show is smoke and mirrors and shit, and him, like, hiding just makes everyone, including myself, it makes us all think it's true. I mean, like, besides, I mean, it's clearly that show isn't getting the sort of numbers that they're claiming it is, just based on the speed of the chat. But still, it's...
Well, I think it's more obvious now than ever, Shaggy, that they're on that backwater channel, right? Suddenly, they've lost... they've lost, like, what? 80% of their audience? Whereas before, apparently all of their audience came across. So either they can't afford the bots anymore to keep up appearances, or they finally have just lost everything.
Yeah, I mean, hey, rent is tough, even with two people, but, you know, I gotta say, at some point they're gonna be competing with fucking COG. I mean, what a fucking sad situation that's gonna be. And they're literally fucking competing with COG for shekels. Like...
But that's what they do now. That's what they do now, Shaggy. They literally compete with COG for shekels. Wow. So I'm looking at the channel. This is their channel. Bear in mind... What's it doing? Jesus. What's happening, Shaggy? It just keeps screenshotting the screen. What's going on?
Showing me,
Look, I mean, no hand.
Showing me the Kino Cathedral channel.
Okay,
right
stop.
now. It's showing me...
Yeah, so the last time they streamed was 2 weeks ago. The last video was 12 days ago.
Oh, it's 4:20 there.
Yeah.
For like another 30 fucking
Yeah, you
minutes
know what I notice is
Right.
I work a pretty tough shift. You know, I'll be at work for...
Kino Casino
a good
Gaming
9 hours.
is what they're called now. Kino Casino Gaming on Kick have 447 followers. Kino Casino Gaming is offline. Do they have any videos? Okay. They streamed for 34 seconds, 29 seconds, 5 hours. So this was the last time they streamed 13 days ago. This was their 420 stream. Hang on. Let's watch this together a bit, Shaggy, and see what... I didn't know Kino Casino Gaming was what they were doing now. I didn't know they were doing a gaming show.
Maybe they're trying to beat... I know what they're doing. I think they're trying to beat Surfer's Legend of the Gobbo score.
Right.
I figured it out.
So he's got
Let's
a...
go! Welcome! We literally... To Kino Casino. What was it?
Right. There's a Spider-Man bong.
Ordered 2 extra sliders.
Oh, well, obviously they're getting high.
So where is this game they're playing? Okay, they're playing Turtles in
I
Time.
went and saw Crystal Skull when I was 12 years old. The whole movie theater at the end clapped. The whole movie theater clapped.
You mean that Ashton is literally charging people to watch him get high and play retro games?
Then they stop the games and watch some reality TV. And then they watch this.
Alright.
And then they call Ralph's content boring.
This is it for 5 hours, guys. Was this the last time they uploaded? Was that literally the last time they did a show, guys? I thought there was like a backwater channel they had. I'm not seeing it. Surely the last time they streamed wasn't 2 weeks ago.
Backrooms, I think. It's Backrooms, Kino. Let me just see. I think I've got it on my...
I mean, I genuinely can't find it, Shaggy. It could just be me, though. I mean, I type in Kino Casino. This is what I get.
I think I...
Oh, this. Kino Casino Backrooms.
Yeah.
8 days
Kino
ago.
Casino Backrooms. 6 days ago, Ralph divorced, time to party, is what I'm saying here.
Okay, so live. Ralph divorced, time to party. 4 hours.
Was even like, do we had like live?
You'd think that would have been a good episode, but like, no.
Did you watch this, Shaggy?
No, I couldn't really. I looked at it, thought maybe I could do a show about it, but it was so bad. It's like, I'm not putting myself through that. I'm not gonna sit there and try and put commentary over that, because you can't salt shit. I can take some pretty bad content and like comment on how bad it is, but when even I'm getting bored, when I'm like just fucking like brick to the head fucking bored.
But what about No Running in My Lobby, who says the Kino hasn't been this hyped in a long time? Funny how AF and Ralph were in a shambles immediately after the new Kino Casino studio was built.
But yeah, they spent all their money. They thought that they would, like, basically they thought that if they put a new coat of paint on this thing, that it would run. It's not the paint job, it's the fucking engine. If they were doing a good show, and it was still them just at their fucking computer with Ashton holding his fucking phone, people would watch it. But the fact is, they had a few good days where, because of the Ye24 implosion, they had shit to talk about. But that's gone now. So now they're just sitting in that fucking tent in their living room, doing the same thing they always have. It's the same brand of shit that they've been shoveling into the trough for like months.
Yeah, and they've lost a lot of their viewership, really. It's quite a shame. I didn't think it would be this fast, alas. Any hot takes then, Shaggy, on what's been going on, what's coming up, what's anything at all, Shaggy?
Yeah, I mean, I'd really like to see like some decent content from like something other than PPP, but it's like, what the fuck else is there? That jackass who dresses in a pickle suit? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think that the sector has become too focused on like small handful of individuals, and the content has been like severely degraded because of it.
Before you depart, Shaggy, what's the hot take on Elaine's Starfish that's doing the rounds? Is it a deep fake? And what's your opinion on what you've seen?
So I went and I had a look, and no, that's not fake. I mean, it's sad that like Elaine is still young enough to think she could get away with a lie like that, but Elaine, no one's gonna believe that's fake. Like, if it is fake, it would do you better to just like claim it's real, because saying it's fake just makes you look dumber than you already look for having your nudes all over the internet. Just like stop.
It's tough.
Stop.
It's tough.
Yeah, that's my take on that.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Shaggy. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Okay, so I'm going to call that the show, really, unless... I mean, this is the show, isn't it? The show is over.
And he drinks one of those a day, so 40 times 30 is what? Like, let's bust out the calculator.
He says, bust out the calculator.
He drinks one of those a day, so 40 times 30 is what? Like... Bust out the calculator for this basic math.
Not a day.
Well, is he not drinking like a bottle of whiskey a day?
No.
You might be thinking maybe Wolski will come in with the answer, but
spending about $1,000
no.
on booze. I think between the booze, the pills, everything, the coke, whatever, he's probably spending between $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Then he's also gambling, putting money on the sports games. Now, what's shocking is that Ralph actually broke.
By the way, everyone's like $80. Yes, in Canada, one bottle of a 26er
is $80.
Is like $40 fucking dollars.
No, it really is like $40.
It's like for a basic bottle of vodka, a 26er is $40, and our 2.4s are $50.
No, a 24-pack of beer really is
$50.
It's $50.
It's $50 fucking dollars. In America, you guys are fucking blessed.
I don't even know what it is.
We spend 55. I spend 55 plus tax on beer once a month. It's fucking stupid. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I was saying about Ralph's gambling. He seems to have actually he gambled, I think, over 20 grand last year. But he broke even on it, which is actually, good for him. He broke even on it. But imagine he goes on a bad run right now. He's fucked. So I don't know.
What great commentary. What amazing commentary.
Ashton. Okay, Ralph, I'm not going to show it on the screen because I have to, zoom.
Ralph farted. And that's what they're doing on the other side. So we'll see you on the fifth. Is it the fifth one next? We'll do something very special for the fifth one. I might even save it for the coronation. I am doing something on the coronation, but there will be something. But yes, farewell.